What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is Young, Famous, and African Season 1, Episode 4. So, Annie is back from her extended honeymoon, anniversary, vow renewal, celebration down to the Sun City. And, of course, the first person she gonna run and tell is her good Judy Swanky about the vow renewal. And he is happy for her. And, you know, his thing is, listen, I know they done been through some ups, they done been through some downs, but if she is happy, then I'm happy, and I am happy for them, right? So, Swanky throws a party where he invites all of the crew to come, and of course, none of them know why they're there. We find out that where they've been invited to is like a hot spot, like a, you know, a place where they go. DJ Naked is unimpressed. He said, ain't nothing special about this place. This is where everybody go. Ain't no need for me to get dressed up. Andale was like, Andale. By the end of this episode, I'm gonna have some other words for him. But anyway, he shows up and he said, listen, I was told dressed to impress, and so I am here. And immediately he starts flirting with Zara. And as soon as he gets to flirting, now his reputation must precede him, because DJ Naked was like, and he was immediately like, nah, this is not cool. This is not cool. And he told, now listen, this what I can appreciate about this friend group. Whatever they say behind your back, they will say to your face. There's no need for no holdout. There's some messy and there's some stirring of the pots. But there's no need for no whole lot of backstabbing and I heard, because they gonna tell you. Because DJ Naked was like, yeah, that's not cool. He was like, stop it. He was like, you stop it, you out of line. And, you know, Andale was like, what you talking about? What you mean? And it was all jokes. He was like, nah. He said, Diamond ain't here. You know that's his woman. Like, whatever their actual level is right now or whatever, that's his woman. You know how he feels about her, and it's not cool. Now, he ain't paying attention, but again, that's another conversation for later on. Now, Annie and Innocent, I believe I don't know if his stage name is Tubaba or Two-Face, whatever, but she called him Innocent, so I'm gonna call him Innocent, okay? They show up, and Annie is happy. Like I said last episode, Annie loved this man dirty draws, whether we like it or not, okay? And she lets everybody know that they are renewing their vows. Now, Connie and Zari, they act like these two ain't been married for 10 years and got 20 kids. Well, he got 7 kids. She got 2, but that's another conversation. But, girl, y'all act like they're not already legally married. They were like, oh, this is a mistake. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. Why is she doing this? They have so many unresolved issues. Why are they? And I'm thinking, maybe that's part of what it is they're trying to work through. Maybe they're trying to work through their past issues, and this is a symbol of like a fresh start, and we trying to start over, at least for the next 10 years, according to Innocent. So I'm just sitting here like, they are really in their feelings. Connie is on the side looking like she is really mad at Annie. Girl, you got one story from Annie on a night that she decided to let you into her world. You don't know her whole story. Anyway, so then the night goes on, you know, everybody, like I said, everybody's supposed to be happy, and Baba said he gotta get ready to go. You know, he said, I'm on my way to the airport, and of course, it's like, oh, no. So, Andale says, well, let me talk to you for a minute before you leave. And so, Zuri was like, well, I wanted to talk to him before he left. So, Andale was like, go ahead, you can talk to him first. And Zari throws a little comment to Annie about, like, don't worry, Annie. And then Annie makes a little comment about, don't walk behind her, you walk in front of her, or however it was. But it was all in jokes. But on Annie's part, it probably was for real. Let's be clear. Annie has a lot of insecurities. It's valid. And that is something they need to work through. Let's be clear. Now, Annie, you need to work through that. You need to be okay with it. Because the fact that every time you bring up that man and what he did to you, you cry, tells me you're not past it, okay? Now, I'm in your corner, but I got to tell you when you're right and when you're wrong, okay? I'm with you, though. So, she pulls him aside and she starts talking to him about Well, the other night when you called, your wife was worried about how I know you, and I told her, don't worry about it. It's nothing. We've never had sex. We've never. I mean, I think she even came around and said we never was effing, but innocent is sitting there like, I don't even know what to say to this. Like, why are we having this conversation right now? So he said, oh, it's no big deal. Like, I understand. It's no problem. Like, it's all good. So then she decides that she's going to call Annie over. So she calls Annie over and she proceeds to say, Annie, I was just talking to Innocent and I let him know that, what happened the other night when you demanded to know how I knew him and you wanted to know how I knew your man, and I let him know that nothing ever happened. I told her, so I'm letting you know that nothing ever happened. And Annie was like, what the fuck? So now Andy is immediately, she's embarrassed and she's upset because she's like, why would you call me over here to say that to me? Like, you're trying to embarrass me in front of my husband, and that's not cool. Now, again, if I'm being fair, and you were trying to figure out how that woman knew your man, and I do think a part of you was questioning, do you know him biblically? Know him? And let's be clear, you have every right to be, again, that's what you need to work through. Because I understand you feeling like every time there's a woman that know your husband, you want to know how and how well. So Annie is in her feelings and she feels some kind of way about it. And I feel like she should. Like, I feel like she has a legitimate reason to be upset because all that wasn't necessary. And Zori is a mean girl and she was doing mean girl shit. That's just how I feel about it. So Baba ends up leaving. Annie is pissed off. And Anale and Zari later on, they are off to the side and they are flirting. And he's asking her, well, what's really going on with you and Diamond? Like, are you and Diamond going to ever get back together? And she was like, no, I don't think so. And he was like, well, does Diamond know that? Because I think you lead him on. I think that you like him hanging on and like giving him that false hope. And she was like, no. And he was like, he took her hand. He was like, I mean, that's just like if I take your hand and you don't snatch your hand away, you might not, embrace me back, but you're allowing me to hold your hand. So from the outside looking in, the other people on the other side of the room, all they see is him holding her hand and them looking into each other's eyes, and they all close together talking. And now on the other side, they having a whole meeting. Okay, Connie, Naked, and was it Swanky? They was having a whole meeting about how this is not cool. This is breaking bro code. This is out of order. And they need to say something to him, right? We're going to have a conversation about this. And again, like I said, in this group, you don't never have to worry about where you stand because they're going to let you know where you stand, let you know that you're wrong. Now, Naked ends up having a conversation with Swanky about, because him and Kelly were talking, right? And Kelly is talking to him about how, he's, he's not as romantic as he used to be. He don't want to make love like he used to make love in the beginning. We was throwing each other down and we was doing this and doing that. She said now she can count to 10. I said, oh. And she said she stopped wearing lingerie and getting sexy because he wasn't being sexy with her. So Mustard is talking to I'm thinking DJ Mustard. Naked is talking to Swanky about it. Swanky's trying to talk to him about, well, Kelly, she wants to feel loved and she wants to be romantic. He said, I could be romantic if she would give me time to miss her. He said, she don't give me time to miss her. She's at my house all the time, every day, all day. And Swanky was like, so you didn't want her to move in? He was like, she didn't. I never invited her to move in with me. She just won't leave. I said, well, damn. He said if she would go home for a couple of days a week, maybe when I see her, I would plan stuff for us. I would be more romantic because I would miss her. He said, and if she would give me 3 days, just 3 days a week, when she not fussing, I might find her sexy. I said, now that's the shit that y'all need to be telling each other in therapy. Like, Swanky don't really want to hear all of that. The other thing was DJ Naked pulled Connie aside to apologize to her. Now, let me tell you something. Every friend group has the asshole that Naked is. Because Naked was like, I just want to apologize for my part and the shit show that went down the other day. He said, but it's not my fault. It's your nerdy ass boyfriend's fault. It's that Steve Urkel looking like, is it distinct? Does that Steve Urkel orgasm really get you off? Does it really get you off? And I'm sitting here thinking, is this how you apologize? That is the apology? He called it Steve Urkel. He really called it the Steve Urkel nut. I was trying not to be crass about it. But I'm like, is this really how you apologize? Okay. Now, by the end of the night, Andale, even after all his friends told him he was out of order, he was breaking bro code, he was being disrespectful to Diamond, all of that stuff that they told him, do y'all think that made him stop? No. No. He still flirted with that woman all night and even asked her out on a date, which she accepted. That's both of them. Anyway. So then Annie and Connie go out for drinks, and Connie's trying to ask her, girl, what happened? Like, where did this whole switch come from? Like, you are so in love and you bouncing around, and she's telling her how great their anniversary trip was, and they they really reconnected. And she said, listen, he said some things to me that I didn't realize he knew. I didn't realize he understood, all the little things that were going on and what I was dealing with and what I was putting up with. And, it just seems like it's a new beginning. It just seems like it's a renewal for us. And so it's appropriate that we're going to be renewing, our vows. Now, y'all know Connie ain't here for it. Connie is not here for it. But Annie ain't gonna let that woman rain on her parade, okay? Because as far as she's concerned, she got her man, and they're gonna ride off into the sunset, and everything is gonna be everything. Baba, don't bring no more churn home, please. Can you please not bring no more churn back to that house? Now, this is where we see how messy Andale really is. Now, we saw that he was grimy a minute ago. First of all, let me rewind. You were grimy because when we first saw you with DJ Naked and Kelly walked off, baby, you followed her out, and Naked had to call you out on that. Then you was flirting with Zara, whatever. I don't keep getting this woman's name wrong, but you was flirting with her, and now you were having this all white party where you inviting the crew and all of that, and you invited not one but both of your baby mamas. And from the way the ladies was talking, it was a scandal. It wasn't like a easy breezy. It was a situation where your churn are like months apart, and it was some old shicey stuff. Then you invited Zara, the woman you flirting with, and continue to flirt with at your party in front of everybody. I said, oh, you a dirty dog. Like, you are disrespectful. And once again, Naked reminded him, you wouldn't be doing all this in front of Diamond, so don't do it now. Like, you're wrong. You're wrong. But, child, Andale don't care. Andale don't care. So the ladies are off to the side trying to figure out what's what and who's who, and the fact that he invited both his baby mamas and how trifling that is, right? Y'all know how ladies do at the party. They sit off to the side like, y'all know that don't even make no sense. It was one of those things. So then Connie and Zari are talking about the whole Annie situation. And Zari wants to have a sit-down meeting with Annie to talk to her about what's going on, and talk to her about their whole situation. And Connie got the nerve to be like, I don't like that because she's just trying to be nosy and get ammunition. And now exactly what you said in the first episode, that Annie was telling you all her business, and now you have the ammunition you need. Isn't that what you... Make it make sense. You said the exact same thing, ma'am. Child. Anyway. So, now to Zari's credit, I will say this. When Andale said, he wants to be alone with her so they can get cozy and have some proper alone time, I feel like that was his slick way of talking about proper alone time, like spend the night, bring your toothbrush alone time. And Zari said that, she was like, I don't know. I don't think, like, we cool, but I don't know it's going to go down like that. And he was like, well, just, let's just, you're not feeling this vibe. And she was like, I mean, it's a vibe, but I don't know if it's going to be that kind of a vibe. But either way, girl, you was feeling it. You was entertaining it. And anyway. So then Annie is talking to Kelly. And once again, Kelly stirring the pot, asking her how she felt about how the situation went down to the party and why Zari pulled her husband aside and felt the need. She said, you didn't feel no kind of way when she pulled your husband off to the side? And Annie was like, her pulling my husband to the side to have a conversation with him, I didn't have a problem with. It was her calling me over there and embarrassing me in front of my husband. That is the problem that I had. I said, oh, here we go. She said, and I need to talk to her. So, baby, the last scene of this episode is what we have. We have Zari and we have Miss Annie, and they are talking. Now, from the word go, Annie showed up. Annie was on go when she got there, okay? Annie had worked herself up in the cab ride on the way, in the Uber, walking down the elevator. Coming down the elevator, whatever. She was on go. And she immediately started getting into Zari about, how dare you embarrass me like that? Why would you come after me like that? Why would you talk to me like that in front of my husband? You embarrassed me in front of my husband. And Zari's thing was, all I did was speak the truth. Because you asked me how I knew your husband repeatedly, over and over and over. You asked me how I knew your husband. And Annie got the cussing, talking about something. You are being disrespectful. You are in my home. You are disrespecting my house. And Zari was like, I don't care about disrespecting your house. You are insecure. This is your own insecurity. You need to get your insecurities under control. Because you coming at me, talking to me about your husband and wanting to know how I know him, and that's your problem, not mine. And maybe that's what you need to be getting in place before you decide you want to go, marry him again. And Annie was like, you are being disrespectful to my home. You are disrespecting my home. You are like, she just kind of kept doing that. And then finally, Miss Annie got up and said that she was leaving, honey, that she was exiting stage left. And Zari told her, you can't leave. This isn't finished. This isn't done. Andy was like, I can show you better than I can tell you. And Andy walked her ass off. But let me say this. Zari, you a liar. And you told on yourself. Now, you was getting the better of Miss Annie in this argument because you was really throwing her own tea in her face. You really were. But you lost the argument at the end with two things. One, you threw out what you have. I'm a billionaire. I don't need this shit. But you here. And two, I knew your husband before you. Now, the reason why I say that you lose the argument is because you're lying. Because you already told us that you met her husband a few years ago at some sort of show, an award show or some sort of event. Now you knew him before she did. They known each other since elementary school, middle school, whatever. She said her and her husband been together since she was 15 years old. I believe that if you had been around since before she was 15 years old, she would know who the hell you were, and she would already know how you know him. You a liar. You a liar. Anyway, that's where the episode ended. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.